everyone. So I wanted to thank everyone so far for if you've liked any of my videos or subscribed, I appreciate it. I've gotten over 1,000 subscribers so far, so that's amazing. I am very grateful. I'm appreciative. Please continue to support. I have a lot of things planned for this page, so like and subscribe and just keep following me. I appreciate it so much. This video is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. So far I've done a lot of like hotel tours. I've done a lot of like crossing into Tijuana or crossing back to San Isidro or San Diego from Tijuana. I've done some Vegas room tours, stuff like that. This one's going to be a little bit different. I've gotten a lot of questions about certain things in Tijuana or crossing the border. So I'm going to cover the top questions that I've been asked, and also not necessarily scams, but things to look out for in TJ. So it'll be the top 5 things to look out for in TJ, and then also the most commonly asked questions. So I'll go ahead and kick it off with the number 1 thing to be careful about, and that's the exchange rates in TJ. So that's kind of a 2-part question. The first one is going to be exchange rates when you're using the ATM. So I was told the very first time I went years ago was like, oh yeah, just use the ATM, it's so much easier. But the problem with using the ATM out there is that you're kind of going to be charged 4 ways in a sense. So number 1 is the ATMs out there have their own exchange rate, right? So say the real-time exchange rate is 1950. I think that's about what it is right now. So 1950 peso to the dollar, right? So if you went to an exchange house and that's what they're offering right now is 1950, the ATM could be offering 17 or 1750. So you're getting ripped off a couple of pesos per dollar when you use the ATM. On top of that, their bank in Mexico is going to charge you a fee for using their ATM. Your bank in the United States can also go ahead and charge you a fee, just like any other non-ATM that you'd use, that they charge you a fee, right? So that's 3 already. On top of that, most of them charge you an international fee. I think it's like one bank that I have charges 15 cents, I think, per transaction, and then another credit union charges like 49 cents that I have. So it really just depends, but that's technically 4 ways that they're kind of charging you just to use an ATM out there. So my suggestion is use your bank in the United States before crossing over. Pull out the money from an ATM so they don't charge you at your institution. And then literally in San Isidro, there's so many exchange houses, you're going to find one. It's not a problem. And just find the one that has the best exchange rate. That way you're avoiding all those fees. And the second part to that is the exchange rate. So if you go to a bar, a restaurant, anything out there, they're gonna take dollar. They're also gonna take peso, right? But what they don't tell you is if you pay in dollar, they have their own exchange rate, and that could be $16.50, it could be $17.50, it could be $18. When, like I said, in real time right now, it's floating at about $19.50. So again, you're kind of getting overcharged for paying with dollar. So just be aware of that. Be careful. It may just be better to pay with peso if you have it, or just ask ahead of time what the exchange rate is, just so you know what you're walking into. The second one is taxis overcharging. So I'm half Mexican. I speak Spanish pretty well, but some people say I don't really look Hispanic or Mexican, right? So even when I go over there, taxis try to overcharge me. It just happened last time. It was a real quick ride, and they wanted to charge me like $10 to go to the border, and I walked away from that one. The next one that I went to charged me less than half. So if you look like a tourist, they're going to try to charge you like a tourist. So just be very aware of that, and know what you're getting into. If it seems like it's a lot, just walk away, go to the next cab. Literally, there's a million cabs in TJ or Rosarito. You'll be fine. You'll find one. Also, be aware that Uber is out there. You can use Uber out there. And also, there's another app called Didi. You can use Didi out there as well. So those are 2 apps. Link them to your credit card. You don't have to hassle about the price. It's already built in. It's a lot cheaper than a taxi, and you'll be set. Here's another one. So if you do take an Uber, like say from Tijuana to Rosarito, like say you're going to Papa's and Beer or anything like that, just be aware that toll fees, because there's toll roads that lead to Rosarito, they're built into the fare price for Uber, right? But some drivers will try to get creative and they say, oh, hey, you owe me 60 pesos, 30 pesos, whatever, 20 pesos for the toll road. It's not a lot. I mean, what is it, $1.50, $2, $1? But the thing is, it's already built into your fare price. So check under Uber, you can actually get a detail, like a breakdown of your pricing, and check, because it's always been built in. They got me on that a couple of times, and the last time I actually told the driver, hey, when he asked me about it, I was like, hey, look, it says right here in the pricing, and I pulled it up on my phone that it's built in. He's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, sorry about that, but you know, they know. So just be aware of that. So check the fare breakdown, make sure that the toll road's being charged, and don't let the Uber driver overcharge you if it's already being included in the fare price. That means they have to take care of it, and they get reimbursed by Uber. Going back a little bit to what I was saying about restaurants and bars and everything having their own exchange rates. When you first go somewhere, ask if they take card, because I went to a couple of places that didn't take card. And you know, if you don't have the cash, dollar or peso, it could kind of throw you off. So just ask if they take cash ahead of time. And also, if you can pay with card, maybe it's a good idea, because you know, Visa and a lot of other cards have like that guarantee. So if you're trying to get ripped off, you can also try to fight it. So just be aware of that. Try to pay with card wherever, and also just be prepared in case they don't take card, that you know you have the cash ready. In Tijuana, I went to one place. It's not as common, but in Rosarito, last time I went, 2 weeks ago, I was kind of surprised that there was a couple places I went to that didn't take card, supposedly. So street vendors, that's a really big thing in Tijuana and Rosarito. You're gonna have people on the streets, on the corners, selling hats, belts, jerseys, shirts, sunglasses. Don't expect authentic, because it's I can guarantee you it's probably not going to be authentic. So don't expect that. And then also, don't be afraid to barter. Don't be afraid to try to get a lower price, because that's kind of a given over there, and it's expected. So if they're trying to get $20 for a belt, try to get a better price. It's expected that people are going to barter with them. One thing that they do try to tell you is like, oh, if it's like a large or extra large and above, they try telling you, like, say a shirt, oh no, those are bigger sizes, so more material, and you know, it's like, no, you know what, don't let them get you on that one either. That's a bunch of crap. So just be aware of that either. One thing I can tell you from personal experience, I went to a very popular venue in Rosarito. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say the name out of respect, but I went to a very popular place on Rosarito a couple of weeks ago, and I got the menu right in front of me, so I know what the prices were. I got a taco plate, so it's 3 tacos, rice and beans. That was $11, and then I got 3 bottled beers that were $3 each, so that's $9. 11 and 9 is $20, right? When I asked for the tab, the server brought me the tab, and it was $31. So, but it wasn't broken down on the tab. It was literally just a white piece of paper, and she just wrote $31 on there. So I kind of try to be creative, because I didn't want to cause a problem either. So I asked the server, I go, hey, you know what? My job, I'm actually out here for business, and my job actually reimburses me for the food, but I need it broken down. Can you write a breakdown of how my costs were so I can get reimbursed by my company for the food part? All of a sudden, she's, oh, sure, I'll be right back. When she brought it back, it was $20, and she said she made a mistake. So don't be afraid to ask for a breakdown, or pay for the drinks and beers as you go along. Just don't get ripped off. Again, it could be if you look like a tourist or whatnot, but yeah, just don't get ripped off, because it can be easy for that to happen out there. For the most part, I would like to say I've never had any major issues. I always feel safe and comfortable. You hear a lot of bad stories about TJ and Mexico and all that. I've always felt really comfortable over there. These are just little things that you have to look out for. I wanted to make that clear. I'm not bashing anything. So that's really it for like the main things to look out for. Now I'll go into the most asked questions that I've gotten on my YouTube videos and also on social media. One of them is if I was ever charged for like a visa or a tourist fee when I'm crossing into Tijuana. No, I've never been charged for that. I do know that there's one, at least there was one, if you're staying for like more than 7 days or something like that. And I did hear a rumor that they were going to start charging a fee because of the current situation or whatnot, but I've never been charged that. I haven't. When you cross by car, they really don't ask you anything. You just cross over. Out of all the times I've crossed by car, I've only been stopped one time, and it was like a random inspection type thing. So they just kind of inspected the car, inspected the bags, and I was like, okay, have a nice day. They never even checked my passport. When you when you cross by foot, they do check your passport, and they do ask you questions. A couple of weeks ago when I did it, it was just a guy saying, okay, where are you going? Then I spoke to him in Spanish, told him I'm going to go visit family. And he's like, okay, how long? I said, just 2 days and I'll be back. And he literally handed me my passport back and said, okay, have a nice day. That was the end of it. Then you go and put your bag through like the scanning machine that checks your bag, and then that was it. So I've never been charged a tourist fee or anything like that. Although I have heard that if it's over 7 days that they can. So that's something to know. But no, I've never been charged that at all. And then the other commonly asked question that I get is, do you need a negative test of the current situation we're in, or do you need a certificate of the jab, the 2 jabs, please know what I'm talking about, to cross back into the US? And that is no. Every time I've crossed over, I've never been asked that. I've crossed over several times in 2021, and I've never been asked for that. So no, at the current time, it looks like they're not asking for it. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to comment below. Ask any questions you'd like to know, or any suggestions for videos I can make in the future. Please let me know. I'm open ears for it. If you found this like of any value at all, please like this video. I do have Los Cabos, Mexico coming up tomorrow, so I have so much content coming up for that I'm excited about. So please subscribe, and yeah, I look forward to putting out that content. I hope you enjoy. Be safe.